Hi everyone. Well, during this time, I figured we'd like to do a little bit of gentle stretching, not too long, but a little something to start our morning off with. So this is what I recommend for a little stretch for everybody. The whole family can participate if you want, or if you're kind of creaky in the morning, it's very helpful. But also these are some of the stretches that I do use for my dancers, either before we start class or halfway through the class after we've warmed up. Okay, so here we go. The first thing we want to do is we're going to stretch up like we were stretching first thing in the morning, and then we're going to bend our knees just slightly and fold forward. If you can get the hands on the floor, great. If not, bend the knees. We're going to gently stretch our low back and hamstrings here with bent knees. Then we're going to gently straighten one leg and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch other leg. Straighten 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Repeat. 5, 4, head down, nice and long. 3, 2, 1, and switch. 2, 3, 4, 5. Both legs straighten. Feel your low back and hamstrings straighten. And stretch a little bit gently. We're going to gently walk our hands forward. You're going to come to somewhat of a downward dog position like in yoga. Draw your navel in so you're working your core muscles. Shoulders are down. Careful not to lock your elbows. And now you're going to come down. You've got two choices. You can go through a gentle push-up, or the easier is to come gently down onto your knees to tabletop. And then we're going to sit on our bottoms. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to stretch out our low back even more. You don't have to have a mat. You could have a towel or just the floor that you're on. We round back, so we're contracting, drawing the navel in, and then sitting up nice and tall. 3 more times. We round, hold it, draw the navel in, lift up nice and tall. Again, round, sitting tall. One more time. Round, lift up nice and tall. Then you point your feet round like a ball. Just hold it for a moment. Feel your back stretch out, and then gently stretch your legs out. Press the heels of your palms into the floor, and open the chest. Get those shoulders down. And again, round like a ball, and stretch. One more time, round like a ball, and stretch. Take a breath, reach up, and stretch all the way forward, and gently come up. So that first stretch forward is giving you a gauge of how tight you are in your low back and your hamstrings. And now we're going to work to stretch it out a little bit more. Cut. Okay, so we're going to start to continue stretching out our low back and our hamstrings. So you're going to gently bring your feet together, soles of the feet together in what we call the butterfly position. The closer you bring them in, the more difficult it will be to stretch. I recommend when we start, the feet are a little bit away. Now when we do this, we want to lengthen the spine. We don't want to hunch and round forward, because that's not going to stretch out the low back into the back of the hips. So you want to lengthen up, take a breath, elbows open out, chest folds forward, and then the head is the last. Then you lengthen up with the head, the chest comes up. Now you have the choice of staying here or contracting, sliding back, where you draw the navel in. You're creating a C curve of the body into a contraction. Then you lift up nice and flat, keep a flat back, folding forward, head folds to the floor, and lift up. If you keep your spine nice and long, your head can go past the feet. If you're very tight, your head is going to go towards your feet. So we'll do one more time. We lift up, flat back, we stretch forward, and lift up, and shake it out. Okay? We're going to continue to stretch out the hamstrings. So let's go ahead and take the right leg forward. The back leg can either be bent behind you or in front. I recommend to start off with the leg in front. You're going to lengthen, point the foot so you're engaging your leg muscles, and you lengthen forward like you're going through the mirror. Stretching forward past the person with the camera. And fold forward. And lift up. switching sides. I like to hold it for about a 12 or a 16 count, gently stretching. And lift up. Now we're going to do it with the flexed foot, but sometimes we're so tight at the calves and the ankles that we need a little extra. So sometimes what helps is to go ahead and have the knee bent. If you want, you can put a towel under the knee, or you can just put the ankle of the other leg under the knee so the knee is bent. And you first just gently stretch out that calf and ankle. It goes into the tendons in the ankle. You'll get a little calf stretch. And then after you've held that for a little bit, using the strength of your hand, go ahead and slide that foot out from under the knee, stretch the knee. Depending on the shape of your leg, your heel may come off the floor. And then you're going to draw the toes back again. Try to keep the patella lifted, lifting the knee cap up, engaging the leg muscles, and then you can fold forward. You're going to feel more of a stretch at this point. And lift up. When you have both hands forward, you'll notice that this hip is also stretching out from the arms going forward. Let's switch sides. First with the leg stretched, foot pointed, we fold forward. Lifting up, bend the knee, place the foot or a towel under the knee so the knee stays slightly bent. Flexing that foot forward, gently stretching the ankle and the calf muscle. You can use both hands. 2 is always better than 1. 2 heads are better than 1. Release it. Slide the foot or the towel out from underneath. Flex the foot. Knee is stretched. Engage all the leg muscles, lifting the patella up, folding forward. And lifting up. Go ahead and see how more stretched out you could be, lifting forward. You're not expecting something of a huge, great stretch, but a little bit of a relief, a little bit further maybe you can get to your legs. Okay, so we worked the hamstrings, the low back, a little bit of the back of the hips. The next thing we're going to work on is the front of the hips, into the hip flexors and to your quadriceps. Okay, time to start to stretch out the quadriceps and the hip flexors. So you've got choices as always. Recommend bringing the right leg forward bent and the back leg is going behind you. Depending on how tight you are, it depends on how much the leg can cross behind you. If you do it as they call single pigeon in yoga, you may not be able to stretch the leg all the way. You may have it turned out or turned in. So you've got some options depending on your flexibility. If a straight leg is painful, just do a little bit here and you'll get a little gentle stretch here. Over time, you can start to stretch the leg out, turned out, and then eventually you can also do it turned into. Sometimes turned in is actually easier. And then you have the option to try to keep this cheek on the floor and walk your hands forward. So you're actually stretching out your low back and you're getting a little bit into the outside of the thigh, perhaps towards your IT band, towards your knee. You're just gently folding forward. Gently lifting yourself up. Lift the chest up. Again, we're opening the chest. And then we're going to switch sides. So we bend the back leg and we swing it around and switch sides. Again, you can just stay with the bent leg to go forward. You can stretch the leg turned out or in parallel. Again, you want to feel the quadricep and the knee into the hip stretching. And again, we're gently folding forward. And gently lift it up. Okay. We're going to take our legs to the side, into the side straddle. Okay. So You don't have to go for maximum. The goal is, again, we're stretching out the backs of the hips and the inner thighs. If you flex the feet, you can make sure that the legs don't turn in on you. And you're just gently going to walk forward. Try to keep a flat back, okay? Now some people are going to be able to put their chest all the way to the floor, but when they do so, we want to make sure that the legs don't go forward and the hips come off the floor. You're trying to keep your tailbone close to the floor for an optimum stretch. Okay, so now we're going to lift ourselves up and we're going to take our legs behind us. You can swing the legs behind you. You can walk over with your hands through your straddle, or for the more flexible, you can reach forward and let the legs slide behind you. Okay? Well, now we're going to work a little bit of strengthening of the low back, and then after that, we'll go ahead and work towards our splits. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to go into where the elbows are down by our sides, palms are on the floor, fingers forward, and just gently lift the chest up and down. When you lift the chest up, you don't have to go far, but you do want to engage your abdominal muscles, so you're drawing the navel up towards under the ribs, shoulders down. Now if this is hurting your neck, just keep the head nice and long in line with the shoulders. Now we're gently going to stretch out the quadriceps, bend the right leg, take the right foot with either one or both hands, and you're gently bringing the heel towards your bottom. If you're not getting a stretch, just let the leg slightly, the thigh come slightly off the floor. This isn't a major stretch. Gently release, switching sides. Again, if you need a little more stretch, you can lift the knee gently off the floor. And if you want to, you can take both feet towards your bottom for a minute, a moment. And then we're going to just strengthen the back a little bit. So you've got some options. I'll start with the locust first. You lift the chest up and the feet. You're trying to get the thighs off the floor and the hands float. So you feel the back of your body contracting, and then you float down. So let's do 2 more of those. Lifting up and down. And again, lifting up and down. Now for the kids, to make it fun, sometimes we do what I call the skydiver. We bring the feet together, we're holding our ankles, we lift ourselves up, we point our feet, we stretch the arms behind, and we're looking up to the sky like those skydivers. Feel like that one. And come down. Then you can bend the legs, windshield wiper the legs side to side to gently relax the low back. We're going to press up through all fours, gently round the spine. You can go back to child's pose or just slightly to your degree based on your knees and your low back. And now we're going to work towards our split. So since this mat is sticky, I'm going to roll it out of my way a little bit here. So I highly recommend starting first with the right leg straight, the back leg is bent. Okay? We did something similar before with the leg to the front, and we're folding forward. Again, we're stretching out that hamstring and the low back. And then you're going to stretch out the back leg. You can press yourself up on all fours and try to stretch the back leg and hold it. For those who can get all the way, you go all the way. You can press the shoulders down, turn your head side to side, and then gently bend the legs. Bring the left leg in front, bend the right leg behind first, stretching the hamstring and low back forward. Again, you're engaging your leg muscles. Point your foot. And then you can press up to all hands. You can stay here. Even if the back leg isn't bent, you'll feel a gentle stretch in the hip. And then for those of you who can, you can go down, look side to side, You can also stretch forward or back. Bring the legs forward, take a big breath, stretch forward. Somehow get up off the floor. Option is yours. You can just cross your legs and get up. Or if you want a little extra, you can press up through all four, through downward facing dog. One last time like we started. Walk your feet to your hands. Gently roll up. Go ahead and clasp the hands behind your back. Open the chest one last time. And release. So hopefully this was a little something to wake the body up. If you've been at the computer all day, hopefully you got a little bit of the shoulders opening out, clasping the hands behind and stretching out. It's always good to get this to open. And look out for more videos coming your way. Hopefully they won't be too long. So it's a great way to break up your day when you're either working or doing homework. Lots of love. See you soon.